Alright, so now the video for the TAO Raptor 200cc, the 2009 version. A lot of people really love those LED headlights. They are pretty nice. The thing that I liked most about this was the headlights and then the tachometer, and the price. For a 200cc full-size ATV, came in like right under 1500, I think it was. Something for my girl to ride. She's never ridden before, and something to get us out there on the road. So do a quick review on this. When we got this was not fully assembled, but that was okay. That's what I was expecting. I knew it was going to come in the crate. A lot of these online places are doing drop ship, where they just kind of have a small location, small business front, and when you order it, they order it, and they just drop ship it to you. So it's like buying from a middleman. But when we got this and I got it assembled, got gas in it, actually did an oil change on it before I even tried to start it up, would not start. Man, broke my achy breaky heart. And it really wasn't a good thing, because the wife was already really weary about ordering something from online. So when she got home, and then I was like, hey, it's here but it's not starting, it didn't go over too well. So I had to break out the old voltmeter and start chasing like I was in a race. And what it ended up being was this came with a dead CDI. I'm not sure if it was just like a bad part that was put in, or if it was damaged on shipping or anything like that. But yeah, luckily I was able to go to my good friends who I would have brought both of these from here in Arizona, AZ Scooters, and was talking with him, and explained to him what I had going on. And he basically was like, you can buy the CDI. It's a $20 part. You can put it on. If it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. You can always bring it down and we can get it fixed out for a very low labor rate. So I was really, I was at ease a little bit, because I was like, man, it really sucks having to work on something that's brand new. But we put the new CDI in and it fired right up, which was a blessing, because man, she was breathing down my neck, I tell you, boys. So this came, I had to install this rear rack, and there are very few videos on this actual one too. So this will probably be like the first review video on this one, because the only ones I found out there were like people trying to sell them. So had to install the rear rack. It came, tires weren't on it. You got to put the tires on it. You got to air them up, put the tires on them. Tires are being held in with washer, lock ring, and a castle nut with a cotter pin on them. Now they have like a little cover, which is over there, little black rubber cover that you can put over these. I'm gonna figure out a way to like get that secure on there, whether it be finding something else different or finding another piece of rubber and then maybe zip tying it down, so that we don't get a whole bunch of water splashes in here and rust that out. Also, I'm gonna take these wheels back off and put some anti-seize, hit them up with some anti-seize. So on the back side, got our brake and our chain, and then our axle that's chain driven. No damages to them or anything. It came pretty well. Like one tire was jammed up right here, the other ones were sitting where the foothills are. You can see I got my trusty zip ties, because I had to, man, when I tell you I took everything off. I took all of this wasn't on here because I had to install it, but this rear plastic was off, seat was off, busting into the wires and stuff like that, trying to chase this, man. It was a good thing though, because I got to get in there and see like what's all going on, kind of double check everything, make sure that there wasn't anything crimped as far as wires goes and things of that nature and stuff like that. So I guess it was a little bit of a eye-opener, especially to a first-time ATV owner. Ball hitch, you got your brake fluid right there. All this stuff in the back is pretty straightforward, So on these rims, they come with these beauty rings, little orange beauty rings, and I'm gonna put them on there. I just haven't got to it yet because literally, man, that took a lot out of me trying to get this dang thing started. So we'll start on this side. I mean, it's pretty, I mean, you know, if you own an ATV, you know what you're kind of, you know what everything is. You got your back rack, and how this is mounted on there. It's got 2 screws right there, and then 2 screws, not the exhaust screws, but 2 different screws. These 2 were completely stripped, had to re-tap those. This LED light, that's fine. This is a part of the frame, so you can kind of lift on this. When I was taking it out of the box, I had to lift on this to kind of move it around so I could get it inside. And then, you know, it just pretty much adds an extra back support. And then you got 2 bolts that go into the frame up top. You gotta see they go up in there right there. And so it's pretty secure, like, you know, I can lift it up from that. It's a better grab point and stuff like that. It's got the orange paint on it, you know, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it does look good. Oh, haha, as you guys can see, I was all up in here, and as I'm taking this video, I noticed I never snugged these bolts down. So that's probably what that rattling is that we were hearing. So I gotta snug those down, man. I took this whole thing apart. Come on this side, got a little intake right there. Breather, that is not the intake, because your air box is actually up and underneath the seat. Little breather right there, go down inside of here. You got your starter, got your carb. And on this carb, it's a, I'll tell you what it is on the other side. It starts with the W. Got the electronic choke on it. Obviously, like I was saying, your air box is up in there. I had to reroute and get all those lines nice and tight up in there. Oh, and they came, the zip ties, man. I was like, when I popped it off and I was looking at the zip ties, I'm like, that's probably what the issue is. The zip ties were so damn tight. I'm like, they probably crimping the line. But that wasn't it. You come across on the other side, got your ignition, you got your coil, pretty much your ignition coil, fuel, shut off. And man, I was all in here testing all this stuff and all this good jazz, man. Front of the motor, or because it's like sitting on the inside, I would take it. You got your, sorry about this, guys. You got your shocks. I don't know what shocks they are. Probably nothing to shine your nose at or whatever. Everything was bolted on pretty tight though. Nothing came in loose. Your steering and stuff, that was super tight, but as you drive it more, it'll loosen itself up. Your brake lines, this is clamped on pretty good, so that's pretty good. I kind of pointed it like that just to kind of keep it at a angle. So that's this side of it. Got your bulk wiring harness right there, which I was all in. I kind of need to tie that, zip tie that one in. I put my little white zip ties in there. Fuel filter right there. So that's on this side. See, I got this cap on. I didn't think it was going to stay on, but it actually did stay on. So these are the ones for the front. Now on the front, you got your LEDs. These are nice. They're bright and stuff. Super nice at night. Got your bully bar. This had to be mounted, but it was super easy. Just 4 bolts. So you got one right here, and then one down there. Mind you, when I got this, let me see if I can get it. Okay. So these 2. They were spread out further. They were further apart than, like, they didn't line up exactly right. But what can you expect, right? So when you're putting this on, you're gonna have to kind of play with it to get this to go on straight. I try to get it as straight as you can. You can even tell in the video it's a little closer on this side, but after all that damn dealing with it, I was kind of fine with it. So then you got your front rack. Now it's just 4 bolts. So you got 1, and then 2, and then 3 and 4. and then this pops up. You don't have to like undo all these bolts. This is just, these bolts are for the plastic, under the plastic cover underneath this actual metal support, right? So underneath here, this piece comes up. It's just kind of it's like it's clipped in, so you got to slide it back towards us, and then it has 1 and then 2, and then it pops off, and then this is where your whole wiring harness, let's see if I can get in there, this is where your whole wiring harness kind of sits inside of. So all those all of that goes directly into there, and it kind of sits in there, and then it has the sensor for the remote control starting the alarm. So this does come with a remote control starting an alarm, but that only works if you leave the key in. But if you also leave the key in, you're probably going to kill your battery. So I don't really see how that's super usable, but I mean, it's something extra to have, you know. You can brag to people, I guess. I don't know. Good knobby tires. If you get this, when you get them, get you like a valve stem tool. I already have one, and then just tighten down the valve stems, because the front passenger one was flat the next day, and I'm like, man, please don't tell me that it has a hole in it, even if it did have like a small, because I looked it over, I didn't really see like any major punctures or anything like that. But on that shipping container, well, I can't even say that, because the wheels really weren't touching on the shipping container, like on the crate of the shipping container. But I was a little bit nervous, like, man, I have a hole. But even if I did have a hole, all I was going to do was put some slime in there and just re-air it up. But the valve stem was loose. Wouldn't air it up, and when I got back to the house and I was going to tighten down the valve stem anyway, I started opening the valve stem cap, and you could just feel the pressure and hear it. On the front, you have the washer, lock washer, or lock ring, and then your castle nut and stuff. So then this goes on over it. And they got 2 for the back, but the backs are kind of loose. I'll show you here in a second. Give me 1 second. Kind of try to slide this bad boy on there. So yeah, that's how it looks. It goes on there. I mean, it's not bad. And see, there's a difference with the ones in the back. So that one is like a outer rib one, and then this one is a 3 indented rib one. But when you put it on, you know, it doesn't really want to stay, and that's just going to spin. Sorry about that guys. It just doesn't want to stay, so that's just going to spin right off. So I have to figure out a way to get that on there, whether it be like a zip tie to hold it on there or something, but we'll figure it out. Replace the spark plug with the NGK one. Did an oil change on it. So on this side, Xingwei, kind of get you guys in there. So for some reason my phone wants to try to do this focus thing. Xingwei is the carb. I mean, I really ain't had no problems with it yet, and like I said, am very new to this, so I really wouldn't know. I mean, I'm a mechanic, so I work on cars, so I know how to tune a carburetor on a vehicle to make it idle right, and these seem to be idling pretty good, so I'm not really going to adjust it. One thing I learned is if it's not messed up, don't mess with it, because then you're just creating little gremlins. Starter wire was kind of hanging a little bit low. That's going to get hot. Moved it up out the way. Got your shifter, 3 gears, reverse, and then drive. Your exhaust pipe, it looks like it's kind of, so right there, it's not welded or anything at the seam. It's kind of hard to get in there, but it's not welded at the seam or anything, so that looks like it has like these 2 springs just keeping tension on that. I mean, it's gonna be all right for right now, and then I'll let you guys know how it goes. And then you got your spark plug, vent tube. This was like crammed in right there, and it was like crimped right here, so I just kind of moved it up out the way, got that up out the way so it have an actual way to vent. Then the back of your LEDs just has like a screw going into it. This is all plastic and stuff. And see, okay, that's the back plastic. So it came with like plastic on the LEDs. You can kind of see that right there. And so I took that off. All right, kind of what you guys been waiting on, especially like if you watch the videos and they showed you that dash. So this is your dash or your tachometer. It's pretty nice. That's what it does when it comes on. We put about 3 miles on this bad boy. She's got a full tank of gas, so that is pretty nice as far as the tach goes. Got that green bay, yeah, cheese heads. That's pretty nice. It looks good. Nice little LED. I'm in Arizona, like I said in the previous video, so I am going to need to get something to kind of go over this and shade it so that the sun doesn't eat that up, because it will definitely just probably blacken it out. Only things that really come on when it's running, you got your rev limiter, you got your gears, your miles per hour, which is nice that it's in miles per hour, and you got your fuel. Not much on the handlebars and stuff like that. You had to put your brush guards on, which is basically just these clamps bolted in right there, bolted in at the back. Kill switch, lights. You keep pressing this, man, it's gonna like go through a whole bunch of different like lights. You can get one side to be on, the other side to be on, both to be on, one side to flash, the other side to flash in sequence. So it's a lot. So we're gonna go ahead, and with this you gotta hit the brake. So you can either hit the foot brake. So my girl, she kind of doesn't like this foot brake right there, but I'm like, you gotta get used to it. It's actually in a good position because it kind of faces forward. Let me jump back off real quick. Ow. So it kind of, so that's even. So it kind of faces forward. So then when you're pushing it, you're actually like pushing it forward and down. So like what I'm trying to say is, in the inertia of stopping, you're kind of bracing yourself, and you would be pushing down like that anyway. So that's in a good spot, because then it will lock up the back rails and then you would slow yourself down. So got a front disc brake. I'll go back over and show you those disc brakes. Also, something I forgot to mention, where the stator is, there's a fan. So it's a fan cool, so it gives it that extra bit of air circulation. So I believe on this you can hit the foot brake, or you can hit the actual front brake and it will start. And so we're just going to do the foot brake. Turn this fuel on. Try to do this. Alright, I'm gonna put you guys right here for a second so I can give it some choke. While I'm saying that, your electronic choke, your choke is right here. So this is gonna be your choke. So I'm gonna pull that, and then I'll just hit this with my shoe. So I'm holding that choke down right now because basically what happened was I had the fuel off. It ran all the fuel out of the bowl, and she wouldn't want to start. Let that choke go, throttle. And so that does keep up. So that's pretty much the front of it. Let's go. As soon as it starts running, that fan starts spinning, circulate air. And you know, I can feel it. It's got a pretty good circulation of the air. Try to get you guys focused in. It's gonna be hard to get this to focus in, but those are the LEDs, and then this one, I guess I need to adjust the car. put you guys like this, and I'm gonna be pressing that button I was talking about. So I pressed it again, both flashing. Now it's just on. See how now that one's only flashing and this one is on. So yeah, it's got some cool little functions as far as like that goes. This is what she looks like when she's running. It's not gonna look any different from when she was not running. As far as that exhaust, it's kind of a crappy exhaust, but it's bolted in there pretty good, so it doesn't really shake and rattle. Got your back LED light. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I guess I need to adjust the carb on this one. I'm gonna have to figure that out because I don't really see any mixture screws or anything in there. So maybe we'll be running a Mikuni carb on this one or something. Like I said, there's not a lot of information on these ATVs. You know, there's a lot on the other stuff. And so from looking at this, that's going to be a throttle adjuster because it's sitting on the throttle. You also have like another adjuster right here. Yeah, that rattling is those bolts. Metal gas cap. It's pretty nice, you know, no horn or anything, but it is pretty nice. So I have to make another video. This one is super long, but I just wanted to give you guys a good look at this one because literally there are no videos on this one. So like I said, it's got the rear disc brake. Put you guys in there. My phone is dying, y'all, so you don't want it to focus automatic. But it's got the rear, it's got the front disc brakes as well. That's a little bit of a better one. It's got the front disc brakes as well. With that braided line. I guess it may be a steel braided line inside of there. Only one way to find out is cut it open. What I did notice though that I do like, it's got the Zerk fitting so that you can grease these bushings. That's a good one. I do appreciate that. It's got them on both sides, and I believe that here in the rear